But now we've got LaAbuela, the hero, up against Babo.
Yeah, the reason we're memeing about LaAbuela is because he's a Peruvian player, and there's been one get out of every group, so he's clearly destined for greatness. And I don't even think that even if he was the first, even if this was the first group, and we didn't know that Peruvian players were guaranteed to win, he is actually still very good. Although I will say he's no number 9. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, he's not number 9. Babo, really high on the ladder, almost 2,300. Remember, this guy is a 2v2 main player, I think, but he plays 1v1 a lot. He's, like I said, he's got amazing muta control, like ridiculous. I'm looking at his verse P stats, 42%, not bad. LaAbuela, no stats at all in BSL, but he did, remember, he took out TT1 in NA versus SA, so this guy definitely really good. Yeah,
I have a feeling not as many people would remember that, but I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, never forget.
Forget.
Well, Babo's never been defeated before he gets to the round of 16. So is this the first time that will happen? The Chilean powerhouse up against the guaranteed Peruvian hope in LaAbuela. Let's find out what's going to happen. I need to join the game, but our map is going to be Gladiator. Yeah, I'm just excited for another ZVP. We're getting a bunch of good ones today.
Yeah, Gladiator, one of the better maps, I think. So let's go.
Okay, there we go. All right, about to get into game number 2. All right. Well, here we are. The map is Gladiator, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner in the red, this is our Protoss player from Peru. It's LaAbuela.
In the top right, I didn't realize he was in IRK. It is Babo. So what do you think we're going to see here? Are we going to see Bus like Frosty and Jay went for?
We've already had drones be made, so we're definitely not going to see what happened in game 1. I would say in general, LaAbuela, at least from my experience, tends to be a pretty aggressive player. So I would be expecting Gateway expand, something along those lines. I always think the reason I see Forge expand at least so much is because there are players that are scarred by things like Tai2 just did. So. But usually, especially if you subscribe to the TT1 school of thought, Gateway is the great way. So I think that's probably the way to go. It lets you just be more proactive. You don't have to hide behind your cannons and hope that there's not 50 hiders about to walk into your base.
Yeah, I am a little surprised that we've seen more Gateway expands this time than Forge expand. Lancer versus Jaeyoon. I think that was the only time we saw a Forge expand, but this time is going to be another Forge expand because LaAbuela is getting some more resources. And remember, these guys probably play versus each other a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if LaAbuela goes blind 12 Nexus if he knows Babo's style, but that would probably be a bit risky on Gladiator, in particular with high ground, ramp advantage. I don't know if you want to go for that, but here he goes. This is going to be 12 Nexus. It's got to be a 12 Nexus, right?
Yeah, right on command. Great call, Nyokin. I guess this is the second, or I guess we saw a 12 Nexus in the final game of Group F as well. But I think that worked out maybe a little bit better, not in the long run, but you do have to really get a read on your opponent in order to pull that off.
Yeah, you almost never see this. Ever. And he wasn't like he even scouted. He's just now scouting. LaAbuela going full greed mode. Forward to follow up. If he can get a quick scout to top right, doesn't look like he's going to this time, but he could skip the cannon. Now,
I mean,
Babo
I totally agree. He's going to scout second, which is not first, and the only reason I mentioned that is because if you scout first, then I think you can cancel the cannon. But I think he's figured it out by now. He's like, okay, wait a second. What's this pesky drone doing? Decent amount of damage on that cannon. I'm not sure if he's going to maybe overreact and kind of read this as early aggression.
Yeah, I always get worried when people do this. Like, they just send a drone and starts attacking the cannon. I'm just thinking, well, does that mean you're attacking me? What does this mean? Because the drone isn't going to kill the cannon. So I like that move from Babo. It forced out probes faster. They're not mining. Uh-oh. Probe at top left. Luckily and smartly, Babo saw this probe, and instead of being greedy and sending the Overlord down to bottom left, where does he put it? He puts it right over that third base because cannon rushes can kill bases, and he's making sure that that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that is actually one of the only aggressive options Forge Expand has. And man, it's so sad watching people die to that, because especially like, we as observers can see it coming, but we just have to watch their like helpless selves not notice it, and then usually lose the base. But not going to happen this time. Great Overlord positioning. Third base is on the way, and the probe is finally scouting the Zerg base. Oh, actually gets past the ramp into the main. Gonna see everything, but I guess there's not really a whole lot to see. Just gonna catch the lair.
Yep, sees the lair, sees that there's no shenanigans going on, no 3-hatch Hydra, 2-hatch Hydra, anything weird like that. And behind this, LaAbuela got his cybernetics, about almost halfway done. To put this into perspective, the game with Lancer had like a 325 cybernetics. So his build was so like crazy streamlined. Now this is pretty standard for LaAbuela. I'm not saying that it's slow or anything. This is normal timing, but that's just to give perspective on Lancer's opener. Now, Babo, I didn't see a Hydra put down anywhere. This is again just going to be standard Spires play.
Yeah, and I actually see a lot more 2-hatch play versus Protoss on ladder than I do 3-hatch, which is kind of interesting. Just because, especially if you go gateway first, then it can be a little bit tricky to get all of that up before you have the resources to deal with it. But yeah, this is going to be 3-hatch, and with the probe now being escorted out of the main. If this was something sneaky, we could see like a Hydra Den come down right about now. But it looks like it is actually just going to be about as standard as it gets.
Yeah, everything perfectly standard from Babo. He's got his 4th hatch coming down. 5th hatch going to come down pretty soon. Also at top left. And again, we've got Fast Citadel. It's going to be another DT opener. I don't know if we're going to see 2 DTs like Lancer X pulled out, or if it's just going to be the standard one.
I really like that 2DT, because you don't expect it. You're going to have enough Hydras to maybe deal with one. But yeah, 2DT, obviously it's like a little bit more expensive, but yeah, I don't see that all that often. So I'm a big fan in the one game I've seen it in. Yeah,
they got damage done. If it was TT1, after he got the damage done, he could have morphed them into a Dark Archon and used them for Maelstrom. I don't know if we're going to see that from Lancer X, but you could potentially go for that. So it is an interesting opener. Now, top left is where the Hydralisk Den is. Looks like we've got a supply block a little bit. Babo getting a little hit there, but he does have his 5th hatch going up. Meanwhile, LaAbuela rushing that Templar Archive as expected.
Yeah, not very out of the ordinary. I would say that I'm a little bit off on the Protoss build timing, because he did get such an early Nexus. So he's maybe a little bit ahead of schedule. He's got a great economy, but he's going to have to slingshot past this into some sort of third base. And sometimes on Gladiator, it can be a little bit rough to take that, especially if you let the Zerg get too much early, like soft map control. Or especially get like a big Hydra concave in place. So still have yet to see really a big macro swell from Babo. He's still on 44 supply right now, but it's coming. I'm waiting.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting from Protoss perspective, because we do have 2 DTs rapid, and also we've got fast Robo. Now, this is going to be a DT drop. What is this? Normally, I would think that this is Reaver, but based on how the openers are with Templar Archive, it's got to be a DT drop, and this is going to catch Babo completely off guard. He's trying to actually clear vision with the Sares, get vision with the DTs, just so he can get the DT drop into the main.
Now, one of the DTs has been scouted out at the almost 12 o'clock location. It's going to get surrounded and killed by Zerglings. Wow, that's pretty neat, dare I say. He's going to lose both DTs to Zerglings. Yikes. That's not the way this build is supposed to work out.
Yeah, so Babo's obviously feeling great about killing 2 DTs, but he doesn't know that that was actually an amazing kill because the shuttle's already out, and with the Sarah and DT running around, they're going to know where all the overlords are, and if he can just skirt by the vision, look in the main, there's no Sunken there, there's no Hydras there, it would have done a ton of damage. So really nice find from Babo, and because he killed 2 DTs, which are very costly, he's taking top left. We're setting up to go into the big macro mode, which is what I love about Gladiator.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the shuttle pretty useless right now. I mean, what do you do when you have to wait for 2 DTs to make? They have finally completed, and so at long last, the shuttle is out there. It might be able to cancel the upper left base, but it's certainly not dealing any economic damage to Babo, which is pretty, like, you're feeling good if you haven't taken any damage at all as a Zerg player by this point.
Well, I just realized Forge hasn't been upgrading this entire time, and Babo is going to have +1 weapon. Oh, the Scourge! What are they doing over there?
No way, no way. Ha! Okay, I mean, at least he didn't get the shuttle, but still. Dropping off the DTs at this upper left base, that is gone. More Scourge on the way, so let's see if these can connect with the shuttle. He sees the Corsair, he's gonna clone onto it, and boom goes the dynamite.
Yeah, Shuttle's going to make it into the main. Well, those Hydras have speed. They might be able to intercept them now. They're not going to move. But DT gets shut down at top left. Wow, Babo's timing on speed just kicked in. He's able to save top left. And meanwhile, I don't think he saw the... He did see the DT in the main. He just insta-transfers drone. So these are 4 DTs that really did nothing.
I can't believe this. Honestly, like, eventually you're going to get damaged somewhere, right? But apparently not. So... Even, I mean, he's going to save it and get out with that DT in the main, but still, not really anything being done by LaAbuela. Like, what has he done this game? He built 4 DTs, none of them did any damage, and now he's going to push out with like a tiny gateway army. I guess he does have a couple of high energy, high Templars, so that's going to be good. But right on time, we've got Mutas in production to snipe them down if they're not careful.
Yeah, and this shuttle's going to die. And exactly, what happens when you kill the Sares? You build Mutas. And now this Zealot timing that going to top left, well, that's not working. 3 Sunkens, even 4. And the DT is back into the main. He's trying to get some damage done, but action at the top left. The Storms need to get these drones or something.
Oh, yeah, beautiful. There we go. That's pretty much mission accomplished. I mean, he's going to kill off all the Sunkens and actually deal quite a bit of damage here. The defense was maybe a little bit late, but man, look at how many Mutas this is. This is like 12 Mutas.
Yeah, Archon getting insta-pop by the Mutas and the Sunken, and now these Hydras and Mutas will be able to clean up the rest of the Zealots. And Babo, he lost all his Sunkens. He lost about 10 drones. That's a big hit, but he lost his entire, or LaAbuela lost his entire army. And spending all that gas on the Sares and DTs behind this, he's got 1 Templar, has 1 Storm, and Babo, he's 6-7 hatch. He can just rally across the map.
Yeah, he has a full control group of Mutas too. I mean, what do you even do about that? The Protoss just has like nothing that shoots up right now. Yeah, there's not a single unit that can deal damage to air units. I mean, obviously there's cannons, but Mutas are not too worried about cannons, especially not when you have a full control group of them. Okay, I take it back. There's 1 Corsair, and now there's no Corsairs. So this is pretty much game over. I mean, this is crazy damage to be taking at this point.
Yeah, and he upgraded +1 armor very quickly. These Sares and Goons are going to deal no damage. Meanwhile, LaAbuela, he's desperate, just funneling into top left, just gets massacred by this Hydra ball. This is probably it. I see the hero at the natural, the Dark Archon, but he doesn't have the energy for Maelstrom just yet.
Where is it? I'm waiting. I mean, I guess that's basically the only way to deal with these Mutas at this point. Is Maelstrom into Storm. But, I mean, okay, congratulations, you killed the Mutas. Your opponent has like 10 hatcheries again, so good luck with that one, my dude.
Yeah, just ridiculous amounts of damage with these Mutas, and behind this, what's Babo going to be building? There is Evolution Chamber, Queen's Nest. So he is just going to... Oh, here comes that Dark Archon!
Yeah, but he split the Mutas around the Nexus, so good luck with that Maelstrom. There's a nice Storm, kills like 3 or 4 Mutas, but they're already split. None of your dirty Protoss splash damage is going to work on these.
Yeah, and he killed the Nexus. That's going to be lights out for LaAbuela now. He's probably just going to go for one more attack, see if he can make something happen. Natural is getting extremely low, and Babo just needs to spam Sunkens or build lurkers or anything, and he's just golden. There's no way he can lose this game.
Yeah, still no +1 from LaAbuela. Kind of uncharacteristic. I guess it was a pretty hectic, stressful game, so everybody forgets something eventually. We're gonna see the big move out. This is that one last chance for LaAbuela to do anything. If he can completely destroy this base with more Hydras than he has units, we'll find out. There's the scouting Muta. Oh, picking up the High Templar, gets it, but a Maelstrom on the rest of the Mutas means that probably they're gonna die here. So, my man, the Dark Archon, finally useful.
Yeah, that was a big hit, but look how many Hydras there are. There's so many Hydras.
Oh my gosh, that's only half of them. Huge concave. Oh, disgusting. I mean, it's high ground versus low ground for some of these units, and the storms are decent, but yeah, just not enough. GG, LaAbuela taps out, and Babo will advance on from our first match. Or second, my bad.
Yeah, Babo looked really good. And just, I don't know how the Scourge did so much damage, but it was just all downhill from there, and the 2 DTs getting picked off. I loved the original build from LaAbuela. Just,
yeah,
the 2 DTs, why? They just suicided.
Well, yeah, what's even more confusing to me is like when you have a build where you have 2 attacking units. It's like what are maybe the 2 things you should pay attention to? Maybe have a hotkey control group for those 2 units, and he just like stands them still underneath an Overlord. Like he can see the Overlord with the unit, and then the Zerglings just like walk up, surround it, and kill it. And then it happens again. I'm like, whew, you know. It's like that. What's that meme with the monkey puppet where it's looking at the camera and then it like looks awkwardly off to the side? That's the one.
It happens sometimes. So just like Bingzil getting kind of bopped by Tai2, LaAbuela got bopped by Babo. We hope that they recover because they are really good players. And who are we getting into now? Is it going to be the winner's match or is it the loser match?
I think it's the winner's match, so it's going to be Tai2 versus Babo coming up next.